What I didn't like about the match is
I quite liked the match. I didn't know you'd have a criticism.
no, I liked it, but Midnight Express did not seem like Midnight Express to me.
Mm.
You know, it was like the babyface turn. You know, them getting outsmarted instead of them being the ones being, you know, doing the outsmarting. For me, I always thought when some vicious heel turns babyface, all of a sudden he's weak and he's getting beat up. And what happened to that guy? Like you bring those facets over, and you know, for a lot of people that have made those transitions back and forth, the best of them, like if you watch Flair. And you know, well, I don't like to put him over. He deserves it. He's such a great worker. Whether he was babyface or heel, he was Flair, right? He wasn't suddenly doing something different than he was doing it, whether he was on the other side of the fence or not. And that's smart. For me, that was the part in watching it. Like, is there like doing this babyface thing? I see Stan looks almost out of place, and like you know, Bobby I thought did a great job selling. But it was so not Midnight Express to me. It'd been years since I'd seen them in that babyface role. Because let's face it, I mean, as a heel tag team, they're par nonchalants, right? I mean, they were like pretty much the cream of the cream. And like suddenly now they're babyfaces, so they're somehow not as smart or quick or shady or shifty or whatever euphemism you want to throw to them. But no, I thought it was a good match, especially for a 6-man tag and 6 people being such different styles.
We'll leave the Samoan side. I wanted to pick up a couple of things that you said with Midnight Express, especially. Actually, do you think they were uncomfortable in their new role? Because I can see you nodding, but I'll follow this up with this. Is that Stan Lane, and this is Stan Lane we're talking about, messes up 2 things at the end. I think he almost goes for like a super kick, and then he second guesses himself. And then, as I've written it, I can't remember what the finish is, and it says, and then Stan gets knocked into Jim Cornette, who's on the apron and gets pinned. There was something else after the kick as well, where it didn't seem fluid. The neck breaker, yes. And I was just like, man, I don't remember ever seeing that from a Midnight Express match. Do you think it was just like their unfamiliarity in that role they were in?
Yeah. I mean, obviously in that setup, right? You got the Samoans, big, tough guys that can fly around. Being in that face role, you're going to have to be in a sell position at some point to get this match over. You can't get to a hot tag. You can't get to a comeback without that in a 6-man. I thought the same thing the first time I saw him mess the swinging neck breaker. I was like, ooh, it's something you don't normally see them doing. Like you said with the super kick thing, it seemed awkward, you know, and I'm sure that's got to be it. I mean, at this point, they had been prodigious heels, the top of that heel tag team division for how many years, and suddenly they're doing things that they wouldn't otherwise do. But yeah, that was without question that would come into play because again, you're thinking as a babyface now instead of as a heel. And to me, what always made the Midnight Express so phenomenal as heels, aside from you know Bobby's work rate and their tag, the chemistry between them. And Corny, of course, was the fact that no matter how hard you tried, they were always like willing to do one more thing to get you. You know, there was just that little part that I thought was missing in that babyface role.